The National Transportation Safety Board wants states like Kentucky to lower the legal limit for a person's blood alcohol content.
The University of Kentucky unveiled new uniforms today.
How your activity on social media could keep you from a new job.
This is WKYT News at 5:30.
A federal agency says the baseline for which a driver is considered drunk is too weak. The National Transportation Safety Board says the .08 limit needs to be lowered to .05.
Kentucky highway safety officials and some lawmakers agree. WKYT's Phil Pendleton has more on the proposal. It's our top story at 5:30.
The NTSB says it's one of their highest priorities this year. Lowering the blood alcohol limit to .05 is on their most wanted list.
You know, drunk driving is an epidemic throughout our state.
State Representative Dennis Keene says it almost cost the life of his then teenage daughter.
Drunk driver hit her head on and left her for dead.
She recovered, and since Keene has worked to make it tougher for DUI offenders to get behind the wheel.
It took me 11 years to pass the interlock system here in the General Assembly, so it would be a tough fight.
MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, says they are neutral on this, neither for it nor against it. The Kentucky Office of Highway Safety released a statement saying that they do support .08, but if it's lowered to .05, they will support that as well, stating that they continue to encourage and promote sober driving in Kentucky. But some drivers we spoke to say the lower limit would be too strict, and they fear it would be a greater burden on police. A check of the blood alcohol content calculator shows .05 could be as little as 2 beers for most men and a glass of wine for some women.
It's very difficult when you tackle drunk driving in the state of Kentucky. We appear to be pretty forgiving of that.
The NTSB pushed the lower limit 3 years ago, but are being more aggressive about it now. In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Representative Keene's bill that finally passed last year requires that some repeat DUI offenders to use a breathalyzer before their car will start. Looks like we could not ask for better weather this Super Bowl weekend.
But enjoy while you can, because winter weather is lurking just a few days away. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey's here now with an early look at this weekend's forecast.
Yeah,
Chris.
2 days away, and luckily for us, those 2 days are Saturday and Sunday. Then the winter weather blows on into town. We are into that weekend, and here's how we are starting things out. Mix of sun and clouds across the entire area. What an absolutely gorgeous day coming to an end, though. A little on the chilly side, but low 40s across the board. Not bad at all. 41 now Lexington into the Mountain Parkway corridor. Out this evening, quick drop in temperatures, but with some clouds around. We're going to slow that drop a little bit compared to this time last night. Upper 20s, low 30s by around 11 o'clock or so as you're coming back from those Friday evening plans. Or maybe you're a late night owl. You're just going out for an overnight out on the town. Be careful. Here's your Defender Radar Network. No precipitation out there, though some clouds are rolling on across central and eastern Kentucky. Those are mid and upper level clouds being pushed by a whole lot of actual nice weather. That's out across the Mississippi Valley. That makes its way on into town over the next few days. We get the nice weekend, then we get the snow. That starts sooner rather than later. We may wake up to snow flying by Monday morning, and from then, guys, it is game on to a daily threat for snow each and every day next week. When I come back in a few minutes, we'll look at least one computer model, and it will tell us how much snow it thinks will fall next week.
All right, Chris, thank you. New developments in the case of a Lexington mother accused of killing her 5-year-old son. Dia Adams is charged with reckless homicide in connection with the death of her son Joseph in 2011. Prosecutors say Adams gave her son vinegar that caused his death, while Adams' lawyers say something else killed him. Jennifer Palumbo is in the newsroom with the new information in a story that's new at 5:30. Jennifer?
WKYT has learned Fayette Circuit Judge Pamela Goodwine will not allow any testimony that vinegar was the cause of death. This is a blow for the prosecution's case that centered on vinegar causing Joseph Adams' death in December 2011. Investigators said the boy died after his mother tried to make him drink 3 glasses of vinegar. Judge Goodwine said the scientific evidence is clear to her that vinegar was not the cause of Joseph Adams' death. His parents have argued that Joseph was born with an intestinal disease and had most of his colon removed, so they had to watch what he ate, especially dairy. They said when they discovered the boy had had milk, chocolate, sprinkles, and butter, they gave him a glass of vinegar. The defense appears to be building a case that Joseph died from asphyxiation, possibly after eating those foods. Judge Goodwine said there can be testimony that something could have caused asphyxiation and that forcing liquids caused something to happen. She's now working on her opinion for what can and cannot be used at Dia Adams' upcoming trial. At the live desk, Jennifer Palumbo, WKYT.
Jennifer, thank you. Judge Goodwine is expected to release her full opinion in the next 3 weeks. A backlog of evidence at the state police lab is slowing down the case of a gruesome Lexington murder. John Kaywood is accused of stabbing James Holiness in Lexington in October of last year. This morning, attorneys said it's going to take 8 months for the state police lab to test evidence in the case. The judge told Kaywood's public defender to make a formal request to rush the results to be back in 4 months. Kaywood is back in court on April 8th.
Kentucky State Police have arrested a man following a vehicle chase that went through 3 counties. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Rockcastle County. Police say that 60-year-old Lewis Landis of Louisville was caught speeding last night on I-75 in Fayette County. They say Landis wouldn't stop for officers and instead led them on a pursuit for almost 40 miles through Madison County and into Rockcastle County. Landis was eventually arrested after he pulled into a gas station in Mount Vernon. He now faces multiple charges in all 3 counties. In Anderson County, a woman was rushed to the hospital after her vehicle was struck by a Bluegrass Energy truck. According to the Anderson News, the accident happened this afternoon on US 127 in front of Kroger. The woman was airlifted to an area hospital with injuries. The driver of the truck did not appear injured. In Bell County, officials from across the state came together to celebrate a big step for a community hospital. The Pineville Community Hospital opened up a new wing last year thanks to a loan worth more than $3 million. Officials say the 12-bed facility has been needed in the area for years and is already 75% full.
It's an underserved area for the treatment of depression. And we believe that's probably will be the main patients that we'll treat in this program will be depression.
The loan was funded locally by First State Financial Bank in conjunction with Kentucky Highlands and the United States Department of Agriculture.
While Commonwealth Stadium has undergone a massive makeover, now UK players will sport a new look this season. Mike Linden has more now from UK.
I got to get me one of these. These going on sale anytime soon.
The University of Kentucky Athletics Department unveiled a new look at Commonwealth Stadium today. UK football coach Mark Stoops says the look is all about the players.
I like the new uniforms. We showed them to the players yesterday. They really liked them, and I think that's most important if they feel the energy and feel like it's a good look, and the players really enjoyed it, so I was happy.
The football team has their choice of 3 new uniforms to wear next season. This white jersey, this gray matte alternative jersey for special games, and then of course the Kentucky blue jersey. But what's new amongst all 3 of the jerseys is this patch on the hip, a brand new Kentucky Wildcat.
It looks more scary now, like more intimidating. I like it.
UK Athletic Director Mitch Barnhart says the university worked with Nike for 18 months to fine-tune the look. Some fans like the new Wildcat.
The flowing kind of mane they got in the background. The ears are pointed backwards so it looks like it's attacking. Like they did a really good job designing that.
While some fans are lukewarm about the new logo.
I don't love it, but it's okay.
While some fans may be split on the new Wildcat, they can all agree on one thing.
Yeah, I like it just because it's ready. It's about to eat something. Eat the Cardinals.
In Lexington, Mike Linden, WKYT.
The new football uniforms will debut next season, while the new one-time basketball jersey will debut next weekend against South Carolina. The new Wildcat will also debut on the men's basketball shooting shirts tomorrow night.
A good resume and solid references are not the only thing job applicants have to worry about these days. It turns out your social media presence can also play a big role in whether or not you get a job. Like most 22-year-olds, Anitha Benjamin spends a fair amount of time on social media.
I use LinkedIn, and then I use Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all of that.
But when the college graduate started looking for a job last year, she was careful about what she posted.
I was thinking that I should definitely keep it professional because it's all online and everyone can see everything that you're posting.
And new research shows that's a good idea because businesses are looking. A report from the Society for Human Resource Management finds 1/3 of companies have disqualified a job candidate in the past year because of information found on their social media accounts. In another survey, Office Team asked hiring managers the most common social media mistakes job applicants make. 45% said posting negative or inappropriate comments. 35% said posting or being tagged in inappropriate photos.
If you're too opinionated, too negative, it can really come off to some individuals that you could be a problem in the workplace.
The way that people perceive us is very important.
Having a professional presence online worked for Benjamin. She recently got a corporate job, her first out of college. Also, if you think staying offline is the answer, think again. 17% of hiring managers questioned job applicants who didn't post regularly or didn't have a social media profile at all. After Governor Bevin unveiled his budget proposal last week, UK President Eli Capilouto said cuts to higher education brought significant challenges to the University of Kentucky.
However, now the university may have some flexibility in dealing with the budget cuts. Bill Bryant has more in today's Bottom Line.
Good evening. The race for the White House rolls toward the New Hampshire primary on Tuesday without Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, who dropped out of the race this week. Paul says he is now able to focus on his re-election bid here in Kentucky, where he expects to face Democratic Lexington Mayor Jim Gray at the polls in November. Former Lexington Herald political writer Sam Youngman, who is leaving journalism for a new career in public relations, says he is surprised by the timing of Paul's announcement.
But I really thought that he would stick around through the Nevada caucuses, just because I thought that was a state that was sort of tailor-made for him to do well. Obviously, he didn't see a path forward. I do think that Mayor Gray's entrance into the re-election race got his attention. I think he felt like he needed to focus, but it just wasn't happening for him.
Our interview with Senator Paul, as well as our discussion with Sam Youngman and an interview with the Kentucky doctor in charge of tracking the Zika virus, runs on a packed edition of Kentucky Newsmakers this weekend. You can see the full program Super Bowl Sunday morning at 6 on WKYT, and it repeats Sunday at 10 a.m. on the CW Lexington. Set your DVR or catch it then. A Kentucky civil rights leader and the first African-American woman ever elected to the state Senate was laid to rest in Louisville today. Georgia Davis Powers died at the age of 92. Today, she was remembered for the early fight on civil rights, her 21 years of service in the Senate, and how she became a seasoned advisor to public officials. Governor Bevin is now talking about giving universities some flexibility on spending cuts in his budget. The governor's original proposal called for 4.5% cuts now and 9% cuts over the next 2 years, in line with many other areas in state government. But his budget chief says there may be an option to stretch out cuts over 30 months at the universities. The Herald Leader reports the governor is seeking information about campus building projects as well that he may approve. The family is still making funeral arrangements for former U.S. Senator Marlo Cook, who died yesterday at age 89. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell delivered a tribute to Cook in Washington. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
Valentine's Day is coming up, and if you're looking for the perfect gift this year, nothing says romance in Kentucky like bourbon. 13 Kroger Wine and Spirit shops are celebrating Valentine's by giving customers a chance to purchase a rare bottle of Pappy Van Winkle bourbon. Customers can enter beginning today. One winner from each store will be drawn on Saturday, February 13th. 3 stores in Lexington, 1 in Georgetown, and 1 in Winchester are taking part in the giveaway.